Hey everyone. So for today's movie review, I'm going to talk about the film Ghost Rider 2: The Spirit of Vengeance. It is the new Marvel Comics sequel by their pretty new division, Marvel Knights. Their first film with that division was Punisher Warzone, and this division of Marvel Studios focuses on the more darker Marvel comics and also has more of an adult appeal to them. So it's kind of interesting that Ghost Rider is now in that league. So in Ghost Rider 2, you guys, Johnny Cage has been hiding out for a while ever since the first film. He's in Eastern Europe in this one, and he tries not to use his Ghost Rider power. He tries to hide away from society. He almost regrets signing the contract with the devil, becoming the Ghost Rider from the first film's events. He just wants to live a normal life. So he's trying to live a normal life in secret, I guess. And while all that's going on, he is approached by a biker played by Idris Elba from Thor fame. Um, and this biker offers him this task of, I think this biker's name was Monroe. And so this biker offers him a job where he would be protecting this young boy who's about to become the victim of a monk ritual in Europe. I believe it's Turkey where the ritual would take place. Um, So at first, Johnny Blaze turns it down, Nicolas Cage's character, and he's like, I don't really save people. I'm just kind of this guy that turns into this powerful figure at night that stops evil when evil's present at night in the area that I'm in. So at first, he kind of turns down the job, but later on, he's almost forced to because of his whole Ghost Rider instinct that he signed on to from the first movie. So he has to help this young boy who is also being protected by a mother. It's never really quite explained who the father is, but it's quite clear that the father is not the devil or any of the villains that we see um, throughout the movie. You never really quite know who the father is. Um, so this mother's trying to protect her child from becoming a victim of this ritual that's about to take place over in Europe. And if these new group of villains succeed, played by Ciaran Hinds and Johnny Whitworth, Johnny Whitworth, I think his name is the actor's name. Johnny Whitworth plays Blackout, I think is his villainous name, and Rourke is the name of Ciaran Hinds, but Rourke is kind of the new um, devil in human form, kind of like what Peter Fonda played in the first movie. But Ciaran Hinds plays kind of a new interpretation of the devil in this one. Um, so Rourke and Blackout have to be stopped by the Ghost Rider because if they succeed, this young boy will become the devil in a new human form, and the whole world will be in trouble with this new demonic child as their ruler. So Rourke and the other guy have to be stopped, and so the Ghost Rider teams up with Monroe and the boy's mother to stop them. In this film, the Ghost Rider has new abilities. For example, rather than just getting onto his motorcycle and making it on fire like he did in the first movie, he can turn a crane into a fire-ish, skeletonish crane for his um, for the fights that he's involved in. He can also do it to cars in this one. There's a scene where he does it to a car. So he can turn pretty much anything on fire in this one. That's kind of the new thing that Taylor, Neveldin and Taylor, who did the Crank movies, they directed this installment. That's kind of the new factor that they added into this one. Um, so this movie was good, you guys. I'm almost shocked that it got as many bad reviews as it did. I'm definitely not one of those people who would give it a bad review. I would say it is a good film. Um, it's not as good as the first Ghost Rider film, in my opinion. It just the first Ghost Rider just clicked for me, and this one it just I didn't like the whole Nicolas Cage being over the top goofy. I thought that was a little bit overdone. There were some moments in this movie that were trying to be funny, and to me they just weren't. They I almost wish this movie was almost entirely serious, like the first film, even though the first film did have its moments of glory of humor. I'm not saying that Neveldin and Taylor cannot have any humor at all in this movie, but if they wanted to have humor, it should have been done effectively, and it should have been done in a way that that made the whole film feel consistent rather than having, the serious movie with all these comedic moments that kind of interrupt the story. To me, yeah, the whole comedic aspect of the film almost interrupted the story. So that's why I think Neveldon and Taylor should have maybe have gone back and rewrote the comedic part so it's more suitable to the film that they're trying to make. Um, I know that Johnny Blaze kind of had a smart alecky attitude in the first film, but to me, this one he's almost too smart alecky. It got to the point where you almost feel like you're not even watching Johnny Blaze anymore. You feel like you're just watching Nicolas Cage overacting a comedic part in certain parts. Another difference between the first film and this one is the Ghost Rider whispers his like one-liners. In the first one, he yelled them out. It's like in the first one, he's like roadkill, and this one, he's just like roadkill. He would try to be smart alecky about it, and I don't know, the whole whispering thing I thought was kind of cheesy. So in my opinion, if you want to have one-liners, scream them out. I mean, that's what the first film did, and since this is a sequel, it should have screamed them out too. Um, Action scenes were fine. I was okay with those. Those were actually pretty fun to watch. Idris Elba was very good in this. I thought his Monroe character was very useful toward this storyline. He kind of added to the storyline in a way, especially when him and Nicolas Cage are playing off each other in certain scenes. I thought they did that very well. The boy in this was very good. I thought he played the whole, what am I here? What are they going to do to me? What's it like to be the writer? Where's my mom and all this? So the boy was very good in this. Ciaran Hinds, he was okay. I almost wish Peter Fonda came back in this case. I thought Peter Fonda was a much better villain than Ciaran Hinds was. Um, Blackout was a good villain, but I just thought Blackheart from the first film was a lot better villain than he was. Um, so Ghost Rider 2, you guys, it is a good film, but just to be warned, it is not as good as the first film. At least in my opinion, it wasn't. Um, the action scenes were fun, but the comedic moments almost interrupted my experience with this. Just the overall villains, the ending in this was also very bad. I almost wish that Neveldon and Taylor completely rewrote the ending because the ending in this was just predictable, rushed, and not very good. But overall, it's a good movie. It's much better than what you're hearing about it in other movie review websites and stuff. So Ghost Rider 2, you guys, I gave it an 8 out of 10. It is good, but just be forewarned that it's not as fun as the original.